Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Brandon, and welcome back to Murata Media. So it's been a while since my last review. There's some other videos that I've made in that time, but it's been quite some time since the last time I actually reviewed a movie that I watched. And there was one movie that I have watched in the last few weeks that I just had to talk about. I'm a little late on this one, but I really could not resist. I will be discussing my thoughts on Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, funnily enough, I actually got to see an early screening of this movie. I think I saw it about a week or two before it actually came out worldwide. And I don't really know how to put the plot of this movie into my own words, and also I feel like I could probably spoil something, so I'm just gonna read the synopsis straight from Letterboxd. An aging Chinese immigrant is swept up in an insane adventure where she alone can save the world by exploring other universes, connecting with the lives she could have led. Unfortunately, this sweeps her up into an even bigger adventure when she finds herself lost in the infinite worlds of the multiverse. Now, I had very high hopes for this movie going into it because I heard a lot of good things. I was intrigued from the trailers the first time I saw it. It just looked like a very hectic good time. And to say that this movie is great would be putting it mildly, because this is one of the best movies of the year and one of the best movies that I have watched in the last few years. Now, when I was going over the plot synopsis, I mentioned that this movie is about the multiverse. And with a subject as convoluted as that, there were several moments where I expected to be completely lost during this movie, but at no point was I confused at all. In fact, I was able to follow it pretty easily. But that's just a testament due to the phenomenal writing and editing in this movie. The writing is just so meticulous and comprehensive that it's able to simplify the plot to the audience. That way nobody gets confused. And the editing is also very seamless because the movie constantly jumps from universe to universe, but you always know that you're in a different one. But I absolutely loved this movie's explanation for how verse jumping works. In order for a character to jump into a different version of themselves from a different universe, they need to do something very outlandish and crazy. But another detail I loved about these characters jumping to different versions of themselves is they gain the abilities of that version of themselves. Like the main character, Evelyn, that's played by Michelle Yeoh, there's a version of her that's a chef in like a hibachi style restaurant. And so she uses those abilities from that version of herself in her normal self to fight off the enemies. And I thought that was a super creative way for the characters to fight back and defend themselves. But yes, this movie does contain action. It contains the perfect blend of action along with the slower moments. When there was action, it was kick-ass, super entertaining to watch, and just superbly choreographed. I honestly never wanted the action sequences to end because they were so well done, but at the same time, this movie can't be all action because those moments take a back seat to the slower moments that help develop the relationships between the characters, and I really appreciated that. But that's something else that this movie does so superbly. It blends all these different genres together. There's moments where it's sci-fi, fantasy, and like I mentioned, it becomes just a full-on family drama at points. And for that reason, I think it's impossible to even give this movie a genre. Like, how would you categorize this film? I don't think it's possible. And the acting, just by everybody, is superb. The lead, Michelle Yeoh, is fantastic. Stephanie Sue plays her daughter, and she's great. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, and I thought she would be more of a side character, but she actually plays a pretty important role in the story. And then there's Kei Hai Kwan. I apologize if I'm butchering that name, because this guy, I have the utmost respect for him after watching this film, because he was excellent. You may know him better as Data from The Goonies or Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And this is the first movie I've seen him in since those movies, I believe. At the height of the pandemic, Josh Gad had a series on YouTube called Reunited Apart, where he would interview the entire cast and crew of movies from the 80s. And The Goonies was one of them, and I remember Quan saying at the time that he was interested in returning to acting.
Oh my God, it's been so exciting for the last few months. I decided to get back into acting because of movies like Crazy Rich Asians has really opened up a lot of opportunities for actors in the Asian community.
And if this was his first movie back, then what a comeback it was, because he killed it in this thing. He was so good, but they were also good because the characters that they were playing were written so well, and all of them were very interesting. You find out about all of them and their lives and the paths that they could have taken in life, and that's one of the aspects of the script that I absolutely love. Throughout the movie, you see moments where Evelyn chose to go down a certain path in life, but you also see the alternate routes that she could have taken. For example, when she chooses to go to America with her husband, that's where she ended up now. But there's an alternate timeline where she chooses not to go with him, and you see where she could have been if she chose that route. All of the decisions that she has made or didn't make created a different universe and timeline, and I just find that so fascinating. I mean, I'm not a scientist. There's no proof if this is real or not, but it is a really interesting theory and an awesome topic to discuss in film. And this movie has such a nihilistic tone throughout the entire thing. Like, it says that the universe is so big, and in the grand scheme of things, you don't really matter. But the movie takes a complete shift in the third act and looks at life through a more optimistic lens. Because while some may believe that in the grand scheme of things, you don't matter in the universe, you do matter to somebody out there, and in their eyes, you are the most important thing to them. And that's the route that the movie takes by the end of it, and I won't get into spoilers, but when it decided to go that direction, like, it really hit me. Like, it got me in the feels. Now, when I watched this movie, I was kinda having a shitty day. It was a rough day at work, and my mind was just all over the place. But when I was watching this movie, I was totally immersed and completely lost in it. I just completely forgot about the world around me, and I had no worries in that moment. It's super cliche and corny, but that's just the magic of movies, dude. If they are able to transport you into this blissful sort of dimension where you don't feel any pain or sorrow or anything, just no worries at all, then it has absolutely done its job. And Everything Everywhere All at Once pulled that off masterfully. This film is so ambitious, imaginative, and one of the most unique films that I have ever seen. These are the kinds of movies that we need to support. These are the movies that we need to support financially, through word of mouth, just any way you can support movies like this. Please do it, because they deserve it. Everything Everywhere All at Once is so unique and out there that I think it's amazing that it was even made in the first place. It's been a few years since I handed one of these out, but I'm perfectly comfortable giving Everything Everywhere All at Once a 10 out of 10. I can't wait to show this movie to people, because I really think that this is a film that everybody everywhere can enjoy. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching my review of Everything Everywhere All at Once. If you guys saw this movie, let me know what you thought about it. Did you love it, or were you crazy enough to not enjoy it or think it was overrated? If you did, let me know down below. I'd love to know. If you guys like this review, then be sure to hit that thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe. If you want to see my previous reviews, then I'll link those right over here. Other than that, I hope you all have a tremendous rest of your day. I will see you all next time.